While students prepare for finals, construction crews are preparing to move the Associated Student House. I'll have that story up next. On campus, Lindsay Boyd, Update News.
San Jose State reacts to George H.W.'s passing and the legacy he left behind. I'll have that story coming up.
I'm Kaylee Lawler here in downtown San Jose, where the holiday season continues with a new activity, but with a twist. I'll have more on that story coming up.
From the School of Journalism and Mass Communications at San Jose State University, your source for what's happening with a fresh perspective on today's issues. You're watching Update News.
Welcome to Update News. I'm Alex Marnay.
And I'm Elizabeth Rodriguez. A man is facing criminal charges stemming from an incident with a knife in front of Martin Luther King Jr. Library. The arrest happened yesterday right in front of students. The university interim chief of police, Alan Cavallo, says a man brandished a knife during a verbal fight. The suspect and other individuals involved are not affiliated with the school.
When the officers went to go make contact with him, he ran out of the library, got on his bicycle, and took off.
Officers chased the suspect around and surrounded him near Dwight Bantle Hall, where he was surrounded quickly. A witness who broke up the fight gave a positive ID, and the suspect was booked by university police. It may be looking a lot like Christmas, but the threat of wildfires is still upon us. Last month's Camp Fire was the most destructive wildfire in California history, surpassing last year's Tubbs Fire in Sonoma County. 10 of the 20 deadliest fires in California have occurred in the past 4 years, raising the question whether this is the new normal. Kunal Mehta is live on campus with the story. Kunal?
Elizabeth, wildfires are starting to become part of California life. Temperatures are rising, and despite the past few weeks of rain, California is getting drier. The dryness is killing our trees, which make great fuel for fires. In 2015, Governor Jerry Brown declared a state of emergency over tree mortality.
In the long term, we have a lot of dead trees in the forest.
Professor Francis Edwards has worked in emergency services and served as Assistant San Jose Fire Chief before becoming a political science professor at San Jose State.
And both PG&E and the state of California and the Forest Service of the United States every year work on trying to repair the forest and remove dead material. But the speed with which they work is much slower than the speed with which the drought killed the trees.
PG&E has come under intense scrutiny after investigators found their power lines at fault for earlier fires. Sometimes there is not enough separation between power lines and vegetation, with occasional sparks resulting in fires. For native San Jose residents, the change is noticeable.
Yes, the wildfires have gotten worse throughout the time that I've lived in San Jose.
Other students are concerned about where they are going to live.
Maybe I would think about it, maybe like considering climate and things like that. It would just kind of depend on the area. So like say if it's like really hot there and it's like a dry area, then maybe I would be a little hesitant.
Well, I think the lesson from Santa Rosa is that everybody in California is potentially at risk of a wind-driven wildfire because they travel so far and so quickly.
Professor Edwards recommends that people ensure their roof is not flammable by replacing shingles, add spark suppressors to their chimneys, and clean up weeds around their house, all of which are cheaper than the cost of a human life. Live on campus, Kunal Mehta, Update News.
Thank you, Kunal. And now a look into how San Jose leaders are trying to spark a tech boom in the middle of a housing crisis. Mauricio LaPlante has more on the city's landmark decision to sell acres of public land to Google. He's live in the newsroom with more. Mauricio.
Alex, more jobs in San Jose means more tax money the city desperately needs. But others are afraid that more tax means higher rent, and the city is trying to figure out how to protect its residents and sustain its economy.
Google is now cleared to buy a sprawling parcel of land near the Diridon train station and Highway 87 in downtown San Jose. It took hours to approve. The clock was ticking for San Jose's City Council on Tuesday. Hundreds of speakers expressed their thoughts, and a disruption where protesters chained themselves to their seats delayed the decision.
20 police officers escorting people out of a public meeting.
The council came to a unanimous vote to approve the sale. Staff from San Jose city government say bringing the tech giant to town will increase much-needed tax revenue, but others say it will take away from affordable housing that's already at a critical low.
For me, the development of Google is about the future of my own family and being able to stay a part of this community, and it's really about the future of all of our families.
San Jose State's CFO says it will be a gateway for STEM students looking to get their start in the tech industry.
We're able to influence the workforce of the future. Hopefully, Google will continue to partner with us at the university.
While the university says that Google can bring in a multitude of jobs for its graduates in San Jose, some are uncomfortable with the working environment.
We saw land and we put it to use and displaced others without any remorse, without any solution for these people, and that's exactly what's happening, and it's unethical.
Council members were quick to say Google is not to blame for the lack of affordable housing, but conceded they still needed to do more to solve the problem.
In other words, we have a displacement and affordable housing crisis, regardless of whether Google is here in the city of San Jose or not.
Approving this is the first phase of developing the Google site. There's another 3 years of negotiations down the road. Alex and Elizabeth, back to you guys.
Fall semester is coming to an end, which means some students may have to go through the battle of getting their required classes for the spring. But inevitably, every semester, some students end up on the waiting list, and it's especially tough on graduating seniors. Although they have the priority, they must wait longer if they're trying to enroll in more than 15 units. To enroll in 16 to 19 units, they must wait until December 29.
In order to get the last 5 units, we need to hope and pray that it's still there. So there's no real other benefit than early enrollment to get your guaranteed 16.
The wait is even longer for students needing 19 to 21 units. January 7th is the day seniors may petition for those excess units if they need them to graduate on time.
San Jose State students are busy studying for finals. Meanwhile, construction crews are busy on campus. Lindsay Boyd gives an update on the progress of the construction on campus.
As the fall semester wraps up at San Jose State University, construction crews are just getting started. They're building the new recreation center set to open next spring.
My building is right in front of the new gym that they're building, so we hear it constantly in all my classes.
Right now, students see chain link fences and hear the buzz of hammers outside dorms and the event center. But Sports Club manager Dominic Ackerman says it should be done a month after students return from break.
Oh man, the best part for the new rec center is the opportunities that will be available for students. Not just the facility options. We're going to have 2 aquatic facilities, a rock climbing wall, a 3-court basketball gymnasium. Beyond that, I think it's just the job options.
He says more than 300 jobs will be created with the new facility. The other big construction won't be shiny or new. The Associated Student House at San Jose State University has been around for more than 100 years, and the same construction team that moved it 20 years ago is moving it again. It's getting moved to make room for the new science building. In January, the crews will lift up the house, remove the Picardo entrance gates, and carefully drive the historic house down 4th and San Carlos Street.
And then on the 12th, they're ready to go because it's going to take about 6 to 8 hours to move because it's going to move like a snail, you know, like this.
The house will be laid right outside the business tower on the opposite end of campus.
They will see something different when they come back, like, hey, there's a house here.
Students will see all the many changes on campus when they return from winter break in the new year. On campus, Lindsay Boyd, Update News.
Hundreds of Central American migrants are waiting in Tijuana trying to make their way to the United States. They're part of the caravan that's been on the journey from Central America. Many people in San Jose, including SJSU students, are showing their support. Holding posters, demonstrators gathered in front of City Hall Sunday, protesting the treatment of Central American migrants seeking asylum in the U.S.
We're here because it's really important that we step up and say something because we don't stand for the injustice of tear gassing asylum seekers and hitting them with rubber bullets.
Children wrote their own message on a banner to kids crossing the border. As a new Congress starts in January, people have a message to those taking power.
We want a path to citizenship, and we want people, not Americans, people treated humanely. That's what we would ask them.
Even though there was a limited response from the Trump administration, students on campus tried to do their part. A campus organization collected clothes and toiletries to send to the migrants. Sandra de la Riva showed a video of her group, the Pacific Media Workers Group, handing out supplies at the border the previous week.
And it was a real eye-opening experience. We didn't just cover them, take a neutral stand, we helped out too. We raised funds to give material aid, to help bring food to them when they really, really needed it, when they were stranded.
The U.S. government is working towards a resolution with the newly elected president of Mexico, Andrés Manuel López Obrador.
It is time to keep an umbrella in the car because the rainy season is finally here. Although it is late, the rain will be a treat to the Bay Area. However, people should still be prepared. William Mapp
Fall
has
was
more on
merely
the
a
story.
dry season for California. Although the Bay Area experienced heavy rainfall last year, rainstorms did not reach the state until last November. But California is now experiencing storms sporadically, which can be a problem for commuters. According to the U.S. Department of Transportation, there were more than 1 million national weather-related car accidents in the last 10 years.
I hate when it's like, when there's like a lot of water on the freeway and like it splashes back, like cars are driving fast, so it splashes back and you can barely see, and like your windshield wipers aren't fast enough. So yeah, that sucks.
This year may see below average rainfall again. San Jose State Meteorology and Climate Science Department Chair Allison Bridger says the rainfall is like a roller coaster compared to last year.
So I can show you what we've had so far, which is fairly pathetic. If you look over here, we're up to 2.14 inches of rain so far on the roof of Duncan Hall this year.
There's no way of predicting how the rain season will go. If it becomes intense, California could be facing another natural disaster. I'm here at Coyote Creek, where it overflowed and flooded the streets of San Jose less than 2 years ago. The creek flooded after days of constant rain and Anderson Reservoir in Morgan Hill overflowing.
Sometimes it just exceeds your resources.
Santa Clara Valley Water District Board Chair Richard Santos says the department can only access 1/3 of the rivers here without government permission. His goal is to clean vegetation and trash in the rivers, but Santos says there's an obstacle.
Today we have a problem. It's the homeless, and they're in there, and they contribute heavily. We're spending $1.5 million a year just cleaning up after them. Doesn't mean we're not sensitive to them. I'm very sensitive, but they have contributed a lot of problems for potential flooding.
Santos says the department wants to work with the homeless to identify problem areas.
An on-campus project is supporting veterans and teaching the community about military history. The project has an extensive collection of military history books and paraphernalia. Jonas Elam shows us more.
Tucked inside the Industrial Studies building, room 239 contains artifacts from every major U.S. conflict in the last 150 years, more than 5,000 books, artifacts, and photographs of military history with an additional 20,000 in storage, all of which were donated. History professor Jonathan Roth directs this collection, known as the Burdick Military History Project.
I wanted to carry on this tradition that we had of military history, and I'm very happy to say that there are a number of other faculty that are now involved and interested, and I've always had great interest from students.
The stories behind these objects are used to make lectures and exhibits come alive. The project was part of the World War I exhibit, which was on display on the second floor of the Martin Luther King Jr. Library last month that honored the 100th anniversary of the armistice.
A lot of the exhibits and the information came from local people who had ancestors or relatives who fought in the war and in some cases died in the war.
The Burdick Project also supports ROTC and the Veterans Resource Center.
The Veterans Student Organization has their meetings there. We also use it as an open area if we have people from outside the university so that we can meet with them there.
Among the rare artifacts are a 17th century cavalry helmet, an original map used to plan the invasion of Angkor in World War II, and a German phone book from World War II with ranking SS officers' phone numbers. The Burdick Project office is open from 10 to 4 Monday to Friday and is a chance for students to relive America's war history right here on campus. On campus, Jonas Elam, Update News.
When we come back, Jonas Elam will be here with the looks at arts and entertainment. A local boba milk tea place is gaining popularity with students, and Aztec dancers perform in San Jose. Update News will be back after this.
And now we have Jonas Elam with A&E.
So I've noticed that there are a lot of boba shops popping up all around campus, and I am not complaining. I'm a huge fan of boba.
Absolutely. Milk tea and boba are absolutely delicious and rising in popularity. Coffee is usually the drink seen in the hands of college students, but milk tea with additional toppings is becoming more popular on the SJSU campus. Kelsey Valle tells us more.
Milk tea, nicknamed boba after one of its main toppings, has been on the rise in the Bay Area, with new locations popping up every year. There are 6 boba shops on the outskirts of the SJSU campus. Buddy Tea House is the newest. It opened up this month right across from campus housing, and the manager plans to serve the community well.
I like to make the food and drink is affordable and quality fresh food provided to college students.
But what exactly is in the customizable drink? Customers choose their preference of tea, which is chilled and can be mixed with a creamer such as milk. Syrups, powders, and real fruit may be used to add flavor.
People can also add chewy toppings such as this sweet honey boba, but all of these customizations affect the price of the drink, which usually ranges from about $4 to $6.
Many students enjoy visiting the local boba places during their school day.
I'm like, you know what, I had a good day, I did good in my class, I'm gonna treat myself to some boba. It's like a reward system.
The recent openings of these establishments have led to some competition with the nearby coffee shops. But some students say these two types of drinks serve different purposes.
I think boba is like dessert. I think coffee is like essential.
For me personally, I would rather get boba over some coffee. I like sweet, you feel me? And if you have a sweet tooth, this is that good. So at the end of the day, if I can, I'm gonna get me some boba.
Whether it's coffee or boba, fast and friendly drink spots are a must for college students. In San Jose, Kelsey Valle, Update News.
Some San Jose State music majors are preparing for their required recitals this year. The recitals are used to show possible grad schools and musicians' talents. Because of the importance of the recital, the event can be live streamed for families or friends who couldn't make it. Students get to choose the music they would like to perform to showcase their talent.
And you see the progress I've done in the last 4 to 5 years on tuba has been astounding. And it's entirely based off of the teachers here, based whether it was music theory or ear training, just these small, simple classes.
Recitals are held during students' junior and senior years. The performances are required to be 30 minutes to an hour long, depending on the student's academic focus. The holiday festivities continue here in San Jose, from Christmas in the Park and its collection of over 500 trees to a new ballet's production of the Nutcracker. One event encourages the use of social media. Kaylee Lawler has more on the story.
The hunt is on, as the 12 Days of Arts has started in San Jose on the 1st of December and will end on the 12th. Put on by the San Jose Downtown Association, the social media scavenger hunt takes you through 12 stops that feature multiple arts and entertainment organizations.
The idea is to get people that may or may not be regular patrons to get involved, or else just give them an opportunity to get to know some of the other arts organizations in the area.
Not to be confused with the 12 Days of Christmas. The 7 Swans and 12 Drummers are not included. Individuals or teams follow the hashtag 12 Days of Arts on their social media sites to find the photo or written clue to their next prizes. The goal of the event is to give back to the citizens of San Jose and encourage friends and family to explore the art scene downtown. The first 10 people receive tickets to shows, stickers, merch, and other free prizes. Anyone who participates is entered to win a grand prize at the end of the hunt.
It's just a great way to find out about all the events that are going on and about all the theaters that we have in our city.
Of the 21 arts and entertainment venues spread out throughout downtown, participants will be combing the city for the next clue. Some have showed up 45 minutes before the scheduled prize giveaway.
I think the arts is something that's so important to making a community great, and so it's a really great way to support that by coming out for 12 days.
Residents and visitors have a couple of chances to win as the 12 days continue until Wednesday next week. In San Jose, Kaylee Lawler, Update News.
While many San Jose residents are putting up Christmas trees and bright lights during December, others are preparing themselves to dance. Aztec dancing is a spiritual experience.
Jose Francisco Govea has more on the story.
December brings the joys of wholesome Christmas figures, snowflakes, and chachayotes from the feet of Aztec dancers. Aztec dancers typically perform year-round, but December is especially important due to religious celebrations that take place.
On the 12th of December, I offer everything I have that God has privileged me with. I've danced for the Virgin Mary, who is the Mother of God.
The dance form dates back to Mexico's pre-colonial era in the early 1500s. Then and now, the ritual is a way of prayer. The energy used to move their bodies and stomp their feet is an offering to their creator.
We don't come here to offer materialistic things because in the end that doesn't count. We offer what we have, what we are. So you go and offer your exhaustion.
During December, many of us are thinking about our Christmas gifts and materialistic things that we want. But for Aztec dancers, they're thinking about their spiritual life and how they can better themselves. On December 12th, the Catholic community and Aztec dance groups celebrate the Virgin Mary's appearance in Mexico. The day Mary met an indigenous man named Tlatonahuatl, mostly known as Juan Diego. Today it signifies the merging of Catholic and indigenous culture.
Tlatonahuatl was his name. Juan Diego isn't his real name because he has a Nahuatl name. She sent him to go with the bishops to give them the message to make a church nearby for her to give love and help.
To join a dance group, dancers need not be Mexican or indigenous, just open to experiencing the rich meaning of Aztec dancing.
In San Jose, Jose Francisco Govea, Update News.
And that does it for arts and entertainment. So are you guys excited to go home and celebrate the holidays?
I'm more excited that we're not going to have any more school, no more finals. I'm just so excited that I get to sleep.
Yeah, I'm just done with finals. That's what I'm more excited about.
When we come back, Luke Johnson is here with sports.
San Jose State's women's basketball team hosted UC Irvine this week. I have more on that coming up next.
Bicycle enthusiasts took part in a local bike build. We'll have sports right after this.
And now we have Luke Johnson with sports.
How is the women's basketball season going?
Well, they had a big loss to start the season, but they're slowly catching on. The SJSU women's basketball team faced a tough task, handing UC Irvine its first loss of the season. The Anteaters are 6-0 heading into the Silicon Valley Sunday. The Spartans need to play their best basketball of the season to get a win, and they hit the ground running. 10 minutes into the game, San Jose State built a 17-8 lead, a deficit that UC Irvine has rarely seen this season.
I mean, it's not like you can throw out a quarter, but if you throw out the second quarter, with 6 minutes to go, we put them on the free throw line, we win by 10.
However, the first half of the game would be a tale of two quarters. The Anteaters were relentless in drawing fouls. They made more points in free throws than the Spartans had total points in the second quarter. The free throw attempt differential in the game was 32-13.
When you put a team on the free throw line 32 times, it's going to make it tough. It's an unguardable shot, and it's the highest percentage shot in basketball. So second quarter pretty much did us in.
UC Irvine forward Jordan Sanders led all scores with 24 points. 6 of those points came from free throws. Her team won 74-66. San Jose State's next home game is on December 15th versus Santa Clara. In their meeting last year, the Spartans won in overtime. 2 of San Jose State's esports teams will participate in live tournaments this weekend. The Spartans Overwatch and League of Legends teams will be at the Academy of Art University's inaugural Collegiate Open. There will be an all-day tournament for League of Legends Saturday and for Overwatch on Sunday. They will compete against 5 other Bay Area universities, and based on the players' online ranks, the Spartans are expected to come in first place both days.
During the preseason, they were winning most of their games. I think they only lost like 1 or 2 games, and one of the losses was due to one of the players having other priorities, so we were missing a player. So I think all of them together, we will do really well during this tournament.
Spectators can watch live on twitch.tv. Holidays are not always about receiving. Bikes are making their way under Christmas trees this year due to a community's act of kindness. Viviana de la Peña has the story.
2,700 new bikes are on their way to kids in the Bay Area. The bicycles will bring joy to children who do not have the luxury of waking up to a brand new bike on Christmas morning.
This is something I can give back to kids and have that experience, so kids who never had a bike before and need transportation, it's a great way to give back.
Turning Wheels for Kids held their 14th annual Big Bike Build Saturday morning. Each year, the organization ups its goals and tries to build more bikes.
What started as a small idea of giving back to the community, where only 10 bikes were built for kids, has now led to an annual tradition where about 2,700 bikes are being built for kids across the Bay Area.
The bikes come from the amount of money raised throughout the year from small bike builds. From corporations to group of friends, more than 1,000 volunteered this year to help build bikes. After volunteering once, they continue to come back and even bring a bigger team of builders.
I look forward to seeing the pile of bikes at the end of the building, because you go down there, it's just so impressive of how many bikes get made in so short of a time.
Charities across the Bay Area stop by throughout the day to pick up the assembled bikes. Charities pick up between 50 to 300 bikes.
So it's a huge effort, and a lot of people collaborate to make this happen and to get the bikes to the people that need them.
The bikes are expected to be given to children before Christmas Day. In San Jose, Viviana de la Peña, Update News.
That's all I have for sports. I remember when I got my first bike, it was also on Christmas and I was 5 years old. What about you guys?
I don't remember my first bike, but as far as Christmas, I'm more excited just to see the faces of when people get my gift, and I just want to see their reaction.
Indeed.
Indeed.
And now we take a look back at some of the odd moments from this semester's Update News team.
I'm Thomas Soares, on campus for Spartan men's basketball head.
Includes, don't stop rolling, don't stop rolling.
Nellie?
Sports Authority, oh my God, I can't do this.
William Lapp is live in the newsroom with the story.
Viviana, litter hotspots are places where
Nellie?
3, 2, 1. My final one. San Jose State campus.
My eyebrows itchy.
Am I too bright?
You look a little stoned.
And you can boba, B-O-B-A. Yeah.
Nellie?
And that does it for this week's edition of Update News, and it wraps up the semester. Thank you so much for joining us.
From all of us here, have a great winter break. Update News will return next year.
Bye-bye.